Rock stars are often known for their wild antics and larger-than-life personas, but today, we're counting down the 20 nicest rock musicians who've proven that kindness rocks just as hard as any riff or solo. Stay tuned, because number 1 on this list will truly warm your heart. 20. Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull. Ian Anderson isn't just a musical genius, he's also a true gentleman. For over 50 years, he's made his fans a priority. Jethro Tull was formed in 1968 in Blackpool, England. Still performing some 50 years later, singer-songwriter flutist Ian Anderson credits much of the longevity of his band to the relationship he and his mates have made a point of reinforcing with their fans. That responsibility comes with success, Anderson told the Los Angeles Times in 1996. If you go out there and reach out to people's hearts and minds with your music, and someone takes the time to acknowledge you, it's certainly not asking too much to acknowledge them back. I spend 1 day a week doing my mail, he continued. I imagine there are some folks out there who are surprised to receive an autograph or a couple of lines from me. They've earned that by supporting us. They've probably bought 10 of our albums and spent hundreds of dollars on concert tickets over the years. Ian Scott Anderson, MBE, born August 10, 1947, is a British musician best known for his work as the singer, flautist, acoustic guitarist, primary songwriter, and sole continuous member of the rock band Jethro Tull. He is a multi-instrumentalist who also plays harmonica, keyboards, bass guitar, bouzouki, balalaika, saxophone, and a variety of whistles. His solo work began with Walk Into the Light in 1983. Since then, he has released another 5 albums, including the sequel to the 1972 Jethro Tull album, Thick as a Brick, titled Tab 2, Whatever Happened to Gerald Bostock. 19. Ronnie James Dio.
The ending, it's just the beginning.
Ronnie James Dio didn't just have a powerful voice. His kindness resonated with everyone who met him. His fan interactions were legendary. Although Ronnie James Dio passed away in 2010, his musical contributions live on in his throng of adoring followers and his contemporaries who witnessed his generous interactions with fans. Izzy Hale of Hailstrom told Loudwire that Dio was unwavering in his appreciation for his fans and that he would always stay to greet them after a show, regardless of how tired he might have been. In a heartfelt note written on Metallica's website, drummer Lars Ulrich recounted the first time he witnessed Dio perform with his band Elf in Denmark in 1975. I was completely blown away by the power in your voice, your presence on stage, your confidence, and the ease with which you seem to connect to 6,000 Danish people and one starry-eyed 11-year-old, Ulrich wrote. At Dio's funeral inside Forest Lawn Memorial's Parks Hall of Liberty, some 1,200 fans were in attendance to say farewell to the musical legend the only way they knew how, with a chorus of Dio, Dio, Dio. Ronald James Padavona, known professionally as Ronnie James Dio, or simply Dio, was an American heavy metal singer, songwriter, and composer. He fronted or founded numerous groups throughout his career, including Elf, Rainbow, Black Sabbath, Dio, and Heaven and Hell. Dio was born in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, where his family resided for his father's service in the U.S. Army during World War II. They soon relocated to Cortland, New York. His music career began there in 1957 as part of the Vegas Kings, later Ronnie and the Rumblers. 18. James Hetfield of Metallica.
Something's wrong, something like heavy thoughts tonight.
James Hetfield isn't your typical rock star. He's more interested in a real conversation with his fans than in taking selfies. James Hetfield of Metallica does not enjoy taking photos with fans. He's especially not into having his picture taken while out with his son getting ice cream, which is something that happened in 2011 in Uruguay and resulted in Hetfield hurling rocks at paparazzi. Hetfield would rather leave an impression than have his privacy stolen, as he told iHeartRadio back in 2016. I really used to get freaked out that I would piss somebody off. I used to get so worried that if I say no, my kids are here, I'm enjoying a family moment, that they'll turn around and say, "You're a dick, what a rock star." I was so worried about that. I don't do photos, I don't sign. I will shake your hand and I'll talk with you for 5 minutes. I'd rather do that and leave that kind of impression than someone just stealing a little piece of your privacy. I don't find that productive for me, and it puts me in a crap mood. And then I start to get resentful and I don't even want to talk to people. So I'd rather talk to them as a person instead of some idol of sorts. 17. Half-lives. Imagine flying across countries only to find out your favorite band's show is canceled. Half-Lives didn't let their fans down. Half-Lives is a rock band from Modena, Italy, and in April 2018, they were forced to cancel a show at the last minute. Unfortunately, 2 fans had flown from the UK to watch their performance and didn't find out the show was canceled until it was too late. When the band got word that their fans JJ and Ryan still made the trip, Half-Lives orchestrated an exclusive set inside a rehearsal space where they played the previously unheard single, Crown. The band then had dinner with the 2 fans before driving them back to their hotel in Milan. 16. Bruce Springsteen.
Radio's on and I'm moving round the place. I check my look in the mirror.
Bruce Springsteen may be the boss, but he's never too big to connect with his fans, even in the most unexpected places. His nickname might be the boss, but rock legend Bruce Springsteen doesn't act like he's superior to his adoring fans in any way. Many of his songs are about working class folk, and Springsteen has shown himself to be a man of the people, even when he's selling out arenas. Springsteen packs more energy into his live shows than performers more than half his age, and his effort shows how much he appreciates his fans. He's also not too big to play smaller venues. After appearing at Madison Square Garden with U2 in 2015, he performed at Wonder Bar in Asbury Park, New Jersey with his brother-in-law's band. He may be born to run, but Bruce Springsteen won't stray too far from his roots. 15. Weird Al Yankovic.
I never seem to finish all my food.
He's Weird Al, but his respect for fellow artists is anything but weird. He always makes sure to get their permission. He's famous for parodying popular songs, but Weird Al Yankovic knows how to poke fun while still being respectful. Before recording a song parody, Yankovic first makes sure to get the artist's permission, even though he's not legally required to. Lily Hirsch, author of Weird Al Seriously, described Yankovic as incredibly nice, and the late Kurt Cobain once wrote that he was America's modern pop rock genius. Yankovic is also willing to put his moral integrity ahead of financial gain, like when he turned down a beer sponsorship due to his young fan base. He might be weird, but that's not all he is. 14. Richard Wright of Pink Floyd. Even after leaving the stage, Richard Wright made time for fans. His encounter at a Roger Waters show is proof. Richard Wright signed autographs while in the audience at a Roger Waters show with his wife. Cameron Mayer, one longtime Pink Floyd fan, wrote about his experience with the band on a fan site, A Fleeting Glimpse. In Atlanta in August 1999, Mayer and some friends were watching Roger Waters perform with his new band when Mayer noticed former Pink Floyd keyboard player Richard Wright sitting mere feet from him. Following the conclusion of the first set, Mayer introduced himself as the largest Pink Floyd fan on the planet, much to the chagrin of Wright. After a few minutes of chatter, another man noticed Wright and shouted, "Are you?" Although Wright put his finger to his lips in hopes of quelling any imminent swell of a potential scene, not 5 minutes later, the jig was up. Mayer recalls, "At this time there were a bunch of folks hounding Rick for autographs, giving thanks, etc. He seemed a bit antsy at this point, so we just kicked back and took it all in. I got up to go and get a tour program to be signed and also to get a beer. While standing in the beer line, the second set started. I missed about 2 minutes of the first song, but no biggie. I had my program and was going to get an autograph at the end of the show." Richard William Wright was an English keyboardist and songwriter who co-founded the progressive rock band Pink Floyd. He appeared on almost every Pink Floyd album and performed on all their tours. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996 as a member of Pink Floyd. Initially contributing more as a singer-songwriter, Wright later acted mainly as an arranger on compositions by Waters and Gilmour. He began to contribute less towards the end of the 1970s and left the band after touring The Wall in 1981. He rejoined as a session player in 1987 for a momentary lapse of reason and rejoined full-time for the Division Bell in 1994. Sessions with Wright during this period were later released on the 2014 album The Endless River. Wright recorded 2 solo albums and was briefly active in the pop duo Z with Dave Harris of Fashion. Following Pink Floyd's Live 8 appearance in 2005, he became part of Gilmour's touring band, singing occasional lead vocals on songs such as Arnold Lane. Wright died from lung cancer in London in September 2008, aged 65. 13. Joel Madden of Good Charlotte. Joel Madden doesn't just rock the stage, he rocks at making dreams come true, like when he helped a special fan meet her idols. Lead vocalist of Good Charlotte, Joe Madden, also happens to be the manager of Water Parks, a rock band from Houston, Texas. In April 2018, Madden was made aware that a fan named Jordan Reynolds' younger sister had undergone 2 heart transplants and wanted to meet her favorite band, Water Parks. At a show close to where the fans reside in Arkansas, Madden arranged a backstage meet and greet with Danny Fandom and George Wingington, where Reynolds and her sister were able to chat and take photos with both Madden and the band. 12. Blink-182.
See the meaning, I couldn't even recognize my friends.
Instead of punishing their fans, Blink-182 embraced their creativity. Their unique response to unauthorized fan videos was nothing short of epic. Following a 4-year hiatus, Blink-182 returned to make music in 2011 with the single Up All Night off their 6th studio album, Neighborhoods. Naturally, fans were eager to celebrate the new music, and thousands of fan-made videos using Up All Night without permission were posted online. Instead of taking legal action, Blink-182 partnered with AT&T and advertising agency BBDO to find as many videos as they could. Blink-182 made a second music video for Up All Night featuring a mashup of all the fan videos. The band did, however, cite each user in the respective clip, making sure no legal recourse could ever be taken against them. 11. Ludacris.
Camel hair on the seat. And when I pull up to the club, I get all the affection, cause the women love the pain and they can see.
He's got a tough stage persona, but Ludacris's real-life generosity is undeniable. Covering strangers' bills? That's just the start. You might not want to play Ludacris's raunchy raps in polite company, but in his daily life, the Atlanta MC and actor appears to be nothing but a perfect gentleman. There have been multiple reports of the rapper, born Christopher Bridges, covering people's grocery bills, including for a widowed woman. He also supports the youth with his non-profit organization, the Ludacris Foundation, which helps communities through things like hospital visits, food baskets, and various education programs, including healthy cooking and swimming lessons. Maybe he should think about changing his stage name to Generous? Ludacris is an American rapper and actor who exemplified the Dirty South school of hip-hop, an exuberant, profanity-laden musical style popularized by artists in the southern United States. Ludacris's magnetic, larger-than-life rapping persona propelled him to stardom. As his musical reputation grew, Ludacris developed a secondary career as an actor, taking supporting roles in such films as the dramas Crash and Hustle and Flow, both 2005, 6 installments of the Fast and Furious action series, and the holiday comedies Fred Claus, 2007, and New Year's Eve, 2011. In addition, he made frequent guest appearances on other artists' records, including collaborations with Missy Elliott, Outkast, LL Cool J, Mariah Carey, and Carrie Underwood. 10. The Grateful Dead.
Did you say your name was Ramblin' Roll?
The Grateful Dead didn't just play music, they created a community. Their unique approach to live shows set them apart from every other band. Formed in 1965 in Palo Alto, California, the Grateful Dead were at the epicenter of the counterculture movement. They popularized eclectic psychedelic rock, and they thrived until frontman Jerry Garcia passed in 1995. Their devoted fan base, known as Deadheads, were granted the type of access that is unheard of in today's music industry. According to drummer Mickey Hart, who spoke with Uncle Joe Benson on the Ultimate Classic Rock Nights radio show in August 2019, the Grateful Dead allowed fans to record more than 2,000 of their 2,300 shows. They even went so far as to allow their legion of followers to plug directly into the mixing board at certain venues. According to Hart, "We had a meeting once, I remember, and we said, no, we can't. We can't be cops. We're the GD, you know? We can't stop them from doing anything as long as they're not hurting anybody. So then we made sections just for the tapers. That was a brilliant move as far as us getting our music out to millions of people who would never have heard it. People wouldn't buy our records because they weren't up to par, so it was quite good fortune, actually." The Grateful Dead was an American rock band known for its eclectic style, which fused elements of rock, folk, country, jazz, bluegrass, blues, gospel, and psychedelic rock, for live performances of lengthy instrumental jams, and for its devoted fan base known as Deadheads. Their music, writes Lenny Kaye, touches on ground that most other groups don't even know exists. These various influences were distilled into a diverse and psychedelic whole that made the Grateful Dead the pioneering godfathers of the jam band world. The band was ranked 57th by Rolling Stone magazine in its The Greatest Artists of All Time issue. The band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994, and a recording of their May 8, 1977 performance at Cornell University's Barton Hall was added to the National Recording Registry of the Library of Congress in 2012. The Grateful Dead have sold more than 35 million albums worldwide. 9. Rolling Stones. Imagine getting flown across the world to meet your idols. For one lucky fan, the Rolling Stones made this dream a reality. In May 2016, the Rolling Stones made one fan's dreams come true when they flew him from New York to London for a surprise meet and greet at the band's thematic exhibit, Exhibitionism. Superfan Alex Emanuel not only got to take in the two-story collection of rare items from the band's 50-plus years of historical music making, but he was also surprised by Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Charlie Watts, and Ronnie Woods when they showed up to meet him. Emanuel told Rolling Stone magazine, "The Rolling Stones are the greatest rock and roll band of all time. There's a sense of self-confidence that they have, which is kind of unparalleled in other bands. The Rolling Stones are an English rock band formed in London in 1962. Active across 7 decades, they are one of the most popular and enduring bands of the rock era. In the early 1960s, the band pioneered the gritty, rhythmically driven sound that came to define hard rock. Their first stable lineup consisted of vocalist Mick Jagger, guitarist Keith Richards, multi-instrumentalist Brian Jones, bassist Bill Wyman, and drummer Charlie Watts. During their early years, Jones was the primary leader. Andrew Loog Oldham became their manager in 1963 and encouraged them to write their own songs. The Jagger-Richards partnership became the band's primary songwriting and creative force. 8. Fall Out Boy. Standing in freezing temperatures for hours? Fall Out Boy's fans did, and the band's response was the ultimate act of gratitude. In 2013, Fall Out Boy was playing a string of intimate venues throughout the US, Europe, and Australia. At London's Camden Underworld, devoted fans began lining up 24 hours before doors were scheduled to open. Unfortunately, temperatures in the UK at the time were below freezing. Once the band found out what was happening, they ordered dozens of pizzas to feed their cold, loyal fans. Supporters quickly took to Twitter, rejoicing over Fall Out Boy's gesture. According to GigWise, Leanne Sturrock wrote, "Fall Out Boy have just sent us all pizza. Ah." Fan Sophie Kingsnorth tweeted, "So Fall Out Boy bought us pizza, and I'm going to cry, JFC." 7. Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead.
There is no pebble tossed, no wind to.
Jerry Garcia wasn't just a rock legend. He was the heart of a community. His generosity knew no bounds, even offstage. The Grateful Dead doesn't have fans so much as they have devotees, and the band showed plenty of appreciation for their fan base, letting them record and share their famously unpredictable live shows. Garcia, the late frontman, was a perfect representative of the band's kind nature. Melvin Seals, organist for the Jerry Garcia Band, described him as the kind of person who would give you the shirt off his back. This included Garcia having a chair Seals was fond of delivered right to his house for Christmas. Even as Garcia's fame rose, he apparently never got caught up in materialism. We're sad to know Jerry Garcia is gone, but grateful to know he was able to touch so many lives then and now. 6. Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney's kindness is just as legendary as his music. From casual chats to supporting noble causes, he's the ultimate nice guy. As one of the world's greatest living songwriters, Sir Paul McCartney could easily be conceited and arrogant. But the Beatle is reportedly a very kind man, giving small tokens of appreciation that make a big impact. In a Reddit thread, user Sharkplug said an unprompted McCartney told them to have a great night when leaving the hotel they were working at. But that's of course certainly just one of many friendly interactions. He's also supported many noble causes dedicated toward protecting the planet, such as Humane Society International and Artists Against Fracking. Maybe we're amazed at how one man can do so much good in one lifetime. 5. Queen. Queen's relationship with their fans went beyond music. The band sent handwritten letters, making sure everyone felt like part of the family. Although Queen didn't have a great relationship with the media, the band cherished the bond they shared with their fans. If you were a member of Queen's fan club in the 90s, you likely received 4 magazines per year, highlighted by a copy of a handwritten note from one of the members of the band. Following Freddie Mercury's untimely passing in 1991, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon wrote notes to Queen fans documenting their personal thoughts and feelings. They even sent some of Mercury's notes posthumously. As Kate Mossman of the New Statesman detailed in January 2018, some of the letters the band sent over the years read, "It's been so long since I've written to you," or "Hello from Queen Towers. We have what I think is a dynamite new single called We Are the Champions. Modest it's not, but fun anyway." 4. Pearl Jam. When disaster struck in Canada, Pearl Jam stepped up. Eddie Vedder's heartfelt response showed why the band is beloved by millions. In the spring of 2016, Pearl Jam was performing a string of concerts in Canada, while at the same time the Fort McMurray area was besieged by wildfire. Twice during the band's sold-out show at Toronto's Air Canada Centre, frontman Eddie Vedder made a point to mention the devastation taking place in the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo in Alberta, Canada. An area that is known for its development of natural petroleum, Vedder first said, "We're thinking of you." A short time later, the Chicago native told the audience that Pearl Jam would be donating to various charities to help those most affected by the fires. And then, before performing a sublimely powerful rendition of John Lennon's Imagine, Vedder said, "I could use the healing, restorative power of music in certain songs, providing a supportive community for fans who were struggling." Pearl Jam are an American rock band formed in Seattle, Washington in 1990. Pearl Jam outsold many of their contemporaries from the early 90s and are considered one of the most influential bands of the decade, being dubbed as the most popular American rock and roll band of the 90s. Pearl Jam sold more than 85 million albums worldwide by 2018, including nearly 32 million albums in the United States by 2012, making them one of the best-selling bands of all time. Pearl Jam were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017 in their first year of eligibility. 3. Axl Rose. Axl Rose isn't just a rock rebel, he's got a heart of gold. His response to a fan-facing prejudice proves it. Sadie Elledge, an 18-year-old waitress from Virginia, had a run-in with two customers who wrote prejudiced comments on a receipt. Elledge, who is of Honduran and Mexican descent, wasn't aware that her story went viral and caught the attention of Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose. Rose, who was outraged by Elledge's unfortunate encounter, was connected to the waitress by his longtime friend and Jane the Virgin actress, Greasy Santo, who flew from Los Angeles to Virginia to empower Elledge with a makeover and some encouraging words. Rose wanted to help Elledge's plight, and he offered an all-expenses-paid trip for her and her entire family to watch him perform with AC/DC in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 2. Alice Cooper. Offstage, Alice Cooper couldn't be more different from his wild persona. He's dedicated to giving back, especially to the youth. Alice Cooper is a shock rocker, known for his provocative live shows. But the biggest shock may be his low-key lifestyle. Offstage, the singer, born Vincent Damon Furnier, enjoys playing golf and spending time with his wife of more than 40 years, Cheryl. He's also a born-again Christian who attends weekly Bible study. And if Cooper's music and wild persona once incited panic in parents about his influence on impressionable kids, he's since proven himself to be a positive role model. Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Center, located in Phoenix and Mesa, Arizona, provides excellent support for youth, including free music lessons. Cooper's stage shows might be full of blood, but his heart is full of love. 1. Dave Grohl. When it comes to kindness, no one does it better than Dave Grohl. From paying big tips to barbecuing for firefighters, he's a legend. Foo Fighters and Nirvana rock star Dave Grohl is an undisputed legend. From cooking barbecues for firefighters battling wildfires, to paying huge tips to bar staff, to his charity work, to stopping fights at concerts and gifting his own shoes to fans, the ever-genial Dave is the undisputed nicest guy in rock. To say that Dave Grohl is an exceptional person may be a bit of an understatement. Contributing to 15 different charities is just the tip of the iceberg for the former Nirvana drummer and current Foo Fighters frontman. When it comes to supporting his fans, Groll is quick to drop his rock star persona and act out of the kindness of his heart. As Planet Rock detailed in January 2019, Groll invited a visually impaired boy and his father on stage to be as close to the action as possible, and also had a 10-year-old boy perform Enter Sandman on guitar as Groll sang along. Groll's good-natured spirit was also on display when the band played 8 garage shows for Foo Fighters' most loyal fans. They also performed a 27-song set in Cesana, Italy, after 1,000 fans played Learn to Fly in an effort to get the band's attention. Groll also works to create a safe concert-going environment. In 2011, at the Roadhouse in London, after a fight broke out, Groll stopped the set and demanded that the perpetrator be kicked out, saying, "You don't come to my show to fight. You come to my show to fucking dance." He's been part of some of the biggest bands in rock history, but Dave Grohl has always come across as a guy you can just kick back and share some laughs with. The Nirvana drummer and Foo Fighters frontman has been called the nicest guy in rock, and it's easy to see why, with actions like tipping servers $1,000, inviting fans up on stage, and supporting numerous charities like the Elton John AIDS Foundation and Teen Cancer America. Grohl once said, "The human element of making music is what's most important." Based on these good deeds, Grohl is everything a musician and human should be. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into rock's most legendary moments. Check out our other videos right here for more stories that prove kindness always rocks. See you next time!